Hey everyone, so let's take a look at how to do this still life drawing. First of all, remember your presentation's important, so here I'm just drawing around a piece of A5 paper so I can get the size. Your planner would work as well, just make sure those edges are ruler straight. Next, get your image, and you can see here I'm doing a little bit of maths. I'm just trying to work out where my line should be using measuring. This is a great way to make sure your drawings are as accurate as possible. You can make sure everything's the right size this way. Now notice I'm drawing very light lines to start with, and I'm overlapping the lines. I'm not bothering rubbing anything out just yet, so I want to make sure I know where everything is. By doing this, I know how big everything should be. I'm checking the relationship between each line that I draw for height and size, and everything is drawn in rough. So there I've just put the shapes in for the paintbrushes rather than drawing the paintbrushes themselves. This will help me later when I come to add the detail. You'll see there I've just adjusted the paintbrush size because I noticed it was too short. Mapping out everything this way will help me to put in the detail later. You can see there goes in the shell. I'm just putting in a rough shaped blob to start with, just so I know the space that it's going to take up on the picture. It's easier to work from the outside edges into the picture. As you can see there, I was looking at where the lines touch the outside edge and where they go to. This means I can place them more accurately when I'm drawing. I'm also looking at the spaces between my lines, and you can see the adjustment I just made there helped me change to be more accurate as well. It's a good idea to then rub out the lines you don't want, just to neaten off your drawing and so you can work with it later and know where everything is. Once I've done that, I'm then going to add in the detail that I didn't draw earlier. Whilst I'm adding the detail, I can change things like shapes and positions if I notice it's not right, because quite often when you go back to add the detail, that's when you notice something's not quite in the right place or the right size. The detail, again, I'm adding and comparing it to what I've drawn before to make sure it's in the right place. So like those paint brushes, the lines that separate the handles are all staggered compared to each other, so that really helps when you're trying to be accurate. I'm just firming up the lines, and I'm going to go over just the black lines, and then any implied lines that are created by the dots I'm going to leave very lightly, just so I know where to put my dots later. The dots I would always do at the end after I've added my colour. All the time I'm doing this, I'm checking the lines against the original piece of artwork. It will never be 100% because we're not tracing and we're drawing by eye. We're not robots, so it's okay if it's not 100% accurate, but this is the best way to get the best image. The more you draw in this way, the more accurate your drawings will become and the easier it will be, and you'll be eventually able to do it without having to do any measuring or any checking. Okay, that's the finished drawing. Next I'd add my colour, and then lastly I'd add the dots.